Hello, everyone. Good evening, fellow NSNA members, and welcome to NSNA's very first virtual School Presidents Forum. I am Brandi Borden, NSNA President and the moderator for today's program. I am delighted to have some of our NSNA leaders here with us. Please wave and say hello when I call your name, and remember to unmute yourself. Andrea Romano, Imprint Editor. Emily Bruner, Director, NSNA Board of Directors. Katie Pereira, Nominating and Elections Committee, Eastern Election Area Representative.
Hi.
Crystal Akau, Resolutions Committee Chair.
Hello.
If there are others I missed, please wave hello now. I know we have a lot to learn and to talk about, so we will dive right into our agenda, which includes 3 guest speakers, followed by a discussion of some of the topics that were included in the registration form. We will close with a virtual door prize drawing for a registration for the virtual mid-year conference. You must be present to win. This will be followed by a viewing of the incredible uplifting video from the International Council of Nurses entitled I Am a Nurse. Our first speaker comes to us from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. She serves as the social media director, UHM Student Nurses Association. From the class of 2023, please welcome Fanny Yang, who will describe how her school chapter produced a very special video.
Hi guys, my name is Fanny and I'm from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm also the social media director at our SNA chapter. So today I just want to share a very short video that I created to introduce our EBOD members and bring a message to Let's Stop the Spread. It's going to be short but a very informational video and I hope you guys enjoy it. We can talk more about it after we watch it.
Apologize here. We're going to start that over. Please place all of your phones on mute, please.
I'm Thea Yu, I'm the SNA President. I'm Jasmine, I'm the Vice President.
I'm Brandi Borden, your SNA President.
I am Natalie Elizabeth Welch. I'm the SNA Treasurer.
I'm Nayel Bautista and I'm this year's SNA Marketing Director.
I'm Fanny and I'm your SNA Social Media Director.
I'm Mikey Yao and I'm SNA Delegate.
I'm Ellie and I'm the Committee's Director.
I'm Kenzie Logan and I'm the Co-Membership Director.
I am Kelly Yoshida and I am the Co-Membership Director.
I'm Ira and I'm one of your Co-Membership Directors.
I'm Brittany Sly. I'm the SNA Student Ambassador Liaison.
I'm Jennifer and I'm the HISA Liaison.
Wash your hands often with soap and water for 20 seconds.
Don't forget to clean and disinfect
frequently touched objects and surfaces.
Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue.
And throw the tissue away in the trash bin.
Wear a mask over your mouth and nose properly.
Do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth in public.
Social distance at least 6 feet apart from other people.
Limit outdoor traveling
unless for essential purposes.
Monitor your health daily and be alert for symptoms.
Check your temperature if symptoms begin to develop.
I'm from SNA.
I'm from SNA.
SNA.
And I I commit to protect myself.
And I commit to protect myself.
Commit to protect myself.
Commit to protecting myself and others.
Let's stop the spread.
Let's stop the spread. Let's stop the spread.
Let's stop the spread.
Okay, yeah, so that was the video, and so how I came up with the idea was that during the summer, our EBOD team and our advisors have already been trying to think of ways to bring SNA forward this year, and like, of course, we have to take in the factors of like the pandemic that will affect us. So for example, like we couldn't take our cute group photo together anymore because we needed to be like good examples ourselves and practice social distancing, and since this isn't going to be for like an essential purpose, so it's better if we didn't gather together to take a group photo. And then so as a social media director, I'm trying to think
That's
of
what I was trying to figure out.
Are you trying to get onto a meeting?
and more creative and fun ways to like promote SNA in our community. So that I was thinking maybe we should create like a themed video that can introduce our EBOD members to everyone, since like we can't like see each other in person anymore. And like what would be a better theme than like a pandemic awareness video, right? In a situation that we are right now. This is going to be like educational, engaging, and professional in a way where it's going to promote SNA and it abides by all the regulations of our schools. So with that thought in mind, like I emailed all of our EBOD team members about what to say in this video, and it wasn't a short list, but I was really thankful that everyone got back to me really quickly and gave me a lot of time to like edit and review the video. And so after I compiled everything together, I based the video off of this theme, and then like I just wanted for the main focus to be let's stop the spread. And then thankfully our marketing director of our nursing program, Desiree, she helped me post it online, where the school website online, and then she also emailed all the faculty and staff members about this video, and they really enjoyed seeing like this type of leadership, like student involvement in these type of leadership positions. So that was really nice because she helped us pushed us widely to like our school website's news and social media, and it gave us like the exposure that we wanted. And then my responsibility was posting in our SNA accounts such as Facebook and Instagram, where other organizations and members could see us as well. I think this was a really fun opportunity and learning experience for me because this is actually the first project we have of the year. So it's like my first time working with all the other EBOD members. So it was really fun. And then I think this really encourages me to like create more quality content for the SNA or our SNA chapter in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Fanny. That was very inspirational and beautifully done. And I really loved the way you put everything together with all of your members and trying to stop the spread and showing all of us how to do that. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for having me here today.
Absolutely. And please congratulate all the chapter leaders involved in the video. Very well done. I know you have to rush off to class. So if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat and we will share them with Fanny and send out the answers to everyone. So our next speakers are from the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing, Villanova University in Villanova, Pennsylvania. We have both a chapter leader and the faculty advisor. Dr. Carol Weingarten, Associate Professor of Nursing at Villanova, will speak first, and then she will introduce Erica Dahl, Executive Vice President, Villanova University Chapter, Student Nurses Association of Pennsylvania. They will provide examples of events that have transitioned online, as well as virtual chapter management. Please welcome Dr. Weingarten.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for inviting us to share what Villanova's chapter has been doing in our very different world today. Villanova, like everyone else, faced many challenges with the abrupt transition to online learning. From the start, however, a positive mindset and the determination to keep going strong were key to the chapter's staying alive. The new reality did not mean ignoring all that we once had, or it did not mean missing the good old days, There was grief involved along the way. However, the chapter focused on reinterpreting what was successful and on strategic planning for the future. Chapter meetings continued, but online. With Zoom technology, and yes, there was a steep learning curve for Zoom technology, a lot of people have been attending, and speakers now can come regardless of where they are located, as long as they have internet access. Involvement with NSNA has continued and has been key. A chapter member was elected to the current NSNA board. The chapter's president, who had elected a credit-bearing independent study even before the pandemic, ended up exploring the impact of leadership in uncertain times. The article she wrote was accepted for publication in an upcoming issue of Imprint. The BSN Express program for people with degrees in other areas entered in May 2020, and they were introduced to NSNA right away. I happened to teach Introduction to Nursing to the group, so that was helpful too. A virtual summer meeting and election of 2 BSN Express members to the chapter board have engaged the new class. With everything virtual and prices affordable, the chapter sponsored a delegation to the NSNA Summer Leadership U Conference and will sponsor registration for a delegation to the mid-year conference coming up. The chapter remains one of the most inclusive groups on campus. At the chapter level, a lot of attention is directed toward creating a welcoming virtual online presence and online communication that helps members to feel at home and to feel valued. We've been helped along the way by NSNA and its many resources. The NSNA staff, President Brandi Borden, and the board have been a source of connection, support, and consultation for members as well as for advisors. I'd like to introduce Erica Dahl, who is the Executive Vice President of Villanova University's chapter of the Student Nurses Association of Pennsylvania. We call that simply SNAP Villanova.
Hi everyone. As Dr. Weingarten said, I currently serve as Executive Vice President for SNAP Villanova, so I've been pretty involved in our transition online, and I have some examples of our transitions and what has worked for us and what we're still working on since the academic year began in August 2020. One of our first events was our mentor picnic. It's always been a successful kickoff event to our year-long mentorship program between incoming freshmen and upperclassmen. It's meant to encourage communication between different grade levels, to provide advice, and to form relationships that enhance incoming students' experiences at Villanova. Professional development is emphasized at Villanova's Fitzpatrick College of Nursing, so this program also provides better insight for the incoming freshmen into available opportunities and resources. This year, we re-envisioned the mentor program for a virtual environment. Rather than individual mentors, we implemented small families of incoming students and mentors. We are finding that the small group is often more vibrant and connected instead of just 2 people on Zoom. Effective planning beginning in June for the event in August also led to a success. We incorporated feedback from the individual mentors and mentees and reflected on our past experiences with the mentor picnic to create an event that would work in a virtual setting. During this time of constant adjustments, the leadership within SNAP Villanova has recognized the importance of communication through Zoom meetings, group text, and other media, and also having a strong relationship with our advisor. We're constantly recruiting new members throughout the semester so that both incoming and experienced students know how to join the chapter and NSNA. We provide consistent communication, particularly through Dr. Weingarten, our advisor, since many new students don't know how to become members, especially with this virtual format. At board meetings, we focus on what the different roles have been in the past and how they can transition. For example, our special projects directors previously focused on service projects in person, and now some projects can be done virtually as well as co-sponsored with other campus groups, including one initiative focused on students registering to vote, since many of our members are voting for the first time. Also, our fundraising directors have transitioned to working with companies that allow for direct ordering and shipping, And this has actually extended our profits and eliminated issues related to receiving and sorting all the orders. Another significant transition for us for SNAP Villanova has been hosting general meetings and office hours on Zoom. Previously, our general meetings featured speakers from the surrounding area, but now we've been able to host speakers, particularly alumni, from any location. And with the meetings being hosted on Zoom, we've also seen a surge in attendance, ranging from 74 to 100 students attending our general meetings. And our meeting last night drew 74 members during midterms week. Last night, we were also able to hold elections for freshman representatives, and the nursing students running were pre-slated, and it went very smoothly. Our office hours are also hosted through Zoom, and a diverse group of students ranging from freshmen to BSN Express students have attended. Some of our new ways of doing things are actually better and may be continued after the pandemic. We're constantly adjusting, as with everything else, and we're improving every day, but communication between leadership and our advisor is strong, and our meetings have been starting to run smoothly as our president and other leadership have become more comfortable with hosting meetings on Zoom. I'd like to introduce Dr. Weingarten again now.
Thank you so much, Erica. In these very changing times, every single minute it seems like we're changing into something else. SNAP Villanova is not lost. NSNA is not lost. And we are very connected, all of us. Chapter visibility, as always, is as important as credibility. A need for chapter presence, especially now that so much is online, is constant, and it needs to reach not only the members of NSNA, but also the faculty, key administrators, and the student activities office or student involvement or whatever is called in your setting that coordinates the co-curricular activities, including the Student Nurses Association. The success of the chapter, as always, links to the support of these people. Emails announcing the chapter's activities and meetings, and the chapter's newsletter, the social media presence, and the web page, which is currently for us under revision, are essential. Reports to student activities and to the administration, announcements at faculty meetings, and every faculty meeting gets an announcement, and the forwarding or posting of information about the chapter to the nursing program. And in our setting at Villanova, the faculty need to do this. Help keep the chapter known and teach its importance. And teaching the importance of SNA involvement is like waves on the ocean. You think that you have done a really good job, and then there's another group of personnel coming in and more need for constant visibility for the chapter and for NSNA. Recently, Villanova gave all students full Zoom capability as well as the faculty. So now meetings and events can be scheduled by students instead of being restricted to the faculty scheduling. So also, please include your advisor if you are going to be scheduling any kind of meetings that go out to the students, because your advisors might not automatically be on a list that students would be able to use. Looking ahead, with the new virtual world, updates to chapter bylaws are going to need to be on the agenda. And as Erica noted, strong communication between the chapter president and leaders and the advisor is critical. And we learn so much from each other, advocate for each other, and support each other. Some of the new ways really are better than ways we had been doing things before. In these new days, the semester moves really fast. And honestly, it's a challenge to keep up, especially with the exhausting Zoom meetings that don't have a break like we do between classes, but go Zoom, 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 Zoom. Zoom can be exhausting. And honestly, we sure do miss sharing pizza at meetings and traveling to the conventions and everything that takes place during the conventions and associated with the conventions. But beyond the pandemic, the virtual events and meetings are going to continue in some form. We're always going to be on the journey to learning how to do things differently. And in many ways, from crisis comes the spelling of success. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you very much, Dr. Weingarten and Erica Dahl. You guys are amazing and have implemented so many positive changes in your chapter, and I appreciate you sharing those with us. So we have time for a few questions for Erica and Dr. Weingarten. So if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and state your name and what school you go to, and then just be brief and concise so we can get through everybody has a chance to be heard. In the chat box from Sarah Carty, it says, what are some of the changes you made to your bylaws?
That's on the agenda. Because the realization that with all these changes that are taking place, the bylaws need to change as well. So stay tuned, and we will hope to update you with that in the near future.
Thank you. Have you found a way, this is from, I'm sorry, because I'm blind as a bat. So Kayla, yes. I'm sorry. Have you found a way to overcome this Zoom fatigue?
We're on the journey for that. But one thing is to take a look at what's happened. We're getting a tsunami of emails. We're getting a tsunami of things that are scheduled, one thing after the other. And then purposeful reflection and saying, where is the time to be health promotion is key for everybody. It's one of the tenets of NSNA, and we are always wanting to be present everywhere for everybody. But extending health promotion to ourselves means taking a look at the schedule and saying, within every day, anything that I can schedule, I'm going to schedule so that people have the chance to have a breather in between. Every day we'll have an oasis of time. And that time will not be spent focusing on work kind of things or school, however you define your work, schoolwork, faculty work, whatever. And that there will be a time during each week, maybe some people for more often than that, where there's the concept of a Sabbath. And I heard a religious leader say that it didn't have anything to do with what religion you are. The concept of protected time for replenishing yourself, really important. So I think Zoom has brought up a set of stressors that we never experienced before. And a lot of people are just now recognizing that it's something that we need to take control of. And that doesn't mean saying a bunch of no's or withdrawing from things. It means effective, thoughtful planning of your own schedules and working with your chapters so that they can respect their own health promotion. Now, Erica, I don't know if you have some insights to share as well.
Everything that you said is true. I think especially just self-help, like self-help and planning times to take breaks and look away from the screen, like going for a walk or anything along those sorts, just I guess me time, if you will, just like you said.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Our next question is, what tips do you have for engaging BSN Express students? Our chapter is mainly traditional BSN, but we want to engage our Express students as well.
Years ago, when our BSN Express program opened, the faculty said to SNAP Villanova, oh, these students are going to be too involved, and besides, they come from other careers, they won't be interested. So the chapter said, that will be our favorite worst mistake, and went ahead and included people right from the very beginning. And that involved recruiting the director of the program to be on the same page and the professors. And I have to admit, I had an advantage because I was teaching intro to professional nursing to that group. And what the chapters found is that they are among the most active members, and they bring a richness of backgrounds with people who are lawyers, people who are have been in business, and artists, homemakers, you name it. That's who these folks are. And they are together with people who are freshmen through seniors, and we are the face of nursing. So giving people the opportunity, including them right from the beginning, and there are 2 BSN Express representatives who are elected to the chapter board. So they are part of the decision making. And actually, 2 of the BSN Express students from Villanova are now on the state board.
That's wonderful. So we have an excellent presentation. This is an excellent way to show how to pivot during uncertain times. Pivot example is that one organization, SNA, who has found a way to share pizza by ordering DoorDash/Uber Eats and eating at a set time during the meeting. It's fun and engaging. So I really like that. Our next question is, do you have any tips for getting students more engaged and interested in participating in virtual events and services and service opportunities while being virtual?
Erica, would you like to answer first?
I think one of the most important things right now is our ability to bring speakers from really diverse locations. And I think that has drawn in a large crowd to our meetings. And also even just the ability to meet on Zoom, it allows more schedules to align, I think, by just being able to zoom in. Do you have anything else to add, Dr. Weingarten?
I think you are saying that very well. And our meeting last night was at 7:45 p.m. I can say with pretty much certainty we would not have had that crowd after a long day of school, staying that late at the university and then driving home. So the chance to be at home and actually maybe escape from everybody else and sit down and be part of the meeting has really been a draw. And again, it comes down to visibility.
So we have somebody, one of the attendees who's raised their hand in the meeting. I can't see everybody's screen. So if that was you, please go ahead and ask your question.
That was me, I think. My name is Savannah Reed. I'm a nursing student at Treasure Valley Community College in Ontario, Oregon. I was wondering if you have any suggestions for recruiting in a lower income area.
Yes, recruiting in a lower income area or students from a lower income?
Both.
The chapter never turns away anybody for inability to pay dues, and that goes for anybody who wants to be a member of NSNA. And somehow the funds are found either through the advisor, faculty, or whatever, so that everybody is included, because we want to be the face of nursing. And that's advertised to the chapter. And over the year, and it's always in confidence. So there's no payback or anything like that other than saying at some time before you die, may you be in a position to remember a student somewhere. And that's it. And many of the students who have had the informal, no application, SNAP scholarship have gone on to be chapter leaders or have gone on to be people who are now paying back, giving back, I should say. And just emphasizing inclusivity and a welcome to people, whoever they are.
Okay, thank you.
And in a low income, if you're looking for a specific low income area, just having the media that reaches everybody, because everybody is welcome, and then mean it. Having that mentor program, like we have Little Families, that seems to be working out. It's brand new this semester. but having the families that include people, you know.
Well, I don't know what to do. Just test positive and report.
What was that? Okay, I'm not sure if that was another question. Okay, there are two more questions. One is, okay, hold on just a second because I just lost it. Okay, to go along with Lindsay, has anyone done further engagement with Master, DNP, and PhD nursing students? If so, how? We are also mainly traditional BSN students as well. Dr. Weingarten, if I believe the Master's, DNP, and PhD, the Student Nurses Association, the NSNA, we are BSN and under, like we ADN programs, diploma programs, anything with a master's or DNP or PhD would no longer qualify to be part of NSNA as a BSN, but they could be as, don't get me wrong,
Sustaining member.
Sustaining member, yes.
Well, actually, the communications go out to the entire College of Nursing, and including the graduate programs too. The speaker last night isn't in our master's program. She's one of the graduate assistants, and she's speaking on emergency nursing because she is an emergency nurse. So while folks who are already graduates cannot be part of the undergraduate NSNA membership, they're always welcome to be attending. Diane, Dr. Mancino?
Unmute myself. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Carol. There's one little caveat to that. There is a direct entry master's, which is a pre-licensure master's degree, and those students are eligible to be NSNA members, as are students in RN to BSN programs. So all of your pre-licensure students and then the RN to BSN students are eligible. The PhD or doctorate, doctoral level EDD, DNS, Doctor of Nursing Science, I don't think there's any more of those programs around, but they can become sustaining members for $50 to support the organization.
Actually, I have a generic master's degree, and that was my entry into nursing, although we did not have NSNA at the time at my school.
Thank you very much for the clarification. And we have one more question. I'm the president of Bryant, and I am the president of Bryant and Stratton program in Richmond, Virginia. We have ADN and LPN programs at our campus. How can we include the LPN students into nursing-based events to help them feel included? Thank you.
Again, an open invitation to people who want to attend meetings that have speakers of interest. You know, Dr. Mancino, would you like to continue?
Oh, she's muted.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Okay. That's a very good question. If you have an LPN to a program, there are some associate degree programs that have LPN and RN students for the first year. Now, if those LPN students are going on for the RN at the end of the first year, because you can license as an LPN after the first year, if you are committed to going on, then you are eligible to join NSNA. However, if you're just there to be an LPN, you're not eligible to join. However, you can certainly invite those students to participate. For example, if you have a virtual speaker, you know, the idea being that you want to encourage them to continue their academic progression and go on to become a registered nurse, and that could inspire them and help them to network and be around the RN students. But if you want more information about that, please write to me at diane@nsna.org, and I'll be happy to give you more details on that.
Thank you.
Making people feel welcome, you know, and not creating divides among our healthcare providers, because people enter healthcare with different reasons and at different entry points. And many of the folks who end up as deans of nursing have started out as LPNs.
Thank you, Dr. Weingarten and Dr. Mancino and Erica Dahl for answering questions that we had. So now I'd like to open the floor for discussion on some of the topics that you wrote in the comment box when you registered for the forum. So the first is fundraising, which was a topic frequently mentioned. And Erica has mentioned online purchasing directly from the vendor. Has anyone had a successful fundraiser? Anyone else?
Are you talking about a successful fundraiser? Sorry, this is Christina from LSU Health, New Orleans. A successful fundraiser this semester or just in the past?
I would say probably using virtual platforms, since that's what we're in right now. So we can move forward with virtual, and until we know that we're going to be face to face again and having the opportunity to use that. I would say has anyone in their chapters done anything that virtual? I love the idea of the direct ordering. I think that's a fantastic idea from the vendor, but is there anything else that anyone has done?
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Zoom. So, hi, my name's Lauren. I'm the president at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And our vice president over the summer organized a fundraiser for a local emergency room to fundraise food to give lunch to the nurses at an emergency room in one of the hospitals in Miami that was heavily impacted by COVID. And we raised a ton of money and sent multiple meals to the hospital. It was a really great event. And so I'm really proud of our vice president. I wish she was here to give her a shout out. And then yesterday I was able to present a new idea, which is another student from our Miami campus organized a telephone partnership of older adults that have become very socially isolated to be partnered with students to have weekly phone calls to help with, conversation and just engagement during this more socially distant time.
Those are great ideas. I love the phone call. I love that. I know when we used to meet, we did have a program, but we did go, members would go to the homes. So having something where you're calling somebody so they don't feel so alone during this time is brilliant. Anyone else? Hold on, I haven't looked at the chat yet. We are getting permission. We are trying to get permission to use Redbubble at Penn, so there is a direct ordering to the vendor. In the past, our chapter has set up donations for students who are in need, different things like scrubs, stethoscopes, etc. And unfortunately, COVID stopped this for the past 2 semesters. However, we're planning on doing a drive-through social distancing version of this for the fall and spring. Anyone else have any thoughts of fundraising?
Yes. Hi, my name is Kim. I'm the president of our NSNA chapter at Utica College ABSN in St. Petersburg, Florida. So we have actually been running quite a few virtual drives through an Amazon wish list. So over the summer semester, we created our own Amazon account for free just for our chapter, and I've been compiling wish lists for each drive specifically. So we just finished up a food drive for the St. Petersburg Free Clinic. We asked them about the foods that they were in need of, really anything non-perishable.
and I added every single item with the quantity that we wanted individually and sent out that list to all of our members, any students that are not members, as well as on Facebook. And we had an incredible turnout. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items, and we are not a big school at all. Our cohorts are maybe 20 people a piece. So it was so rewarding. We're definitely working on more for the future, but if that helps anybody, it's a really easy way to do it. Costs nothing, super easy to set up, and like I said, an amazing turnout.
Thank you very much for sharing that. That is a wonderful idea. Anyone else before we go to our next? Yeah.
I can speak. Oh, sorry. Don't want to cut anyone off. I'm Kyle Soto. I'm the president of University of Nevada, Las Vegas's chapter. Elections are coming up, and I know it's going to vary by state, but we have received an offer to go volunteer to set up polling places, and they pay really amazing, honestly. It ranges anywhere from $200 to $300 per person. So that's something that's really easy to volunteer for. They do offer a training day, but you are paid for both. To increase the number of people who actually volunteer, we are offering to pay for lunches, breakfast, stuff like that. So it's not exactly socially distanced, but it's as best as we can get, and it's something that we are going to continue with.
Sorry, I wasn't unmuted. Thank you for that. I think that's a great idea as well. And just wear a mask and get some hand sanitizer and y'all should be good. We had somebody else that wanted to speak.
Yes, hi, my name is Sarah English and I'm the president of SNA at the University of Central Arkansas. One thing that we do every year is we help at our student health clinic. We help with their flu shot administration every year. And so what we're doing this year is we're doing it drive-through. So we still have our nursing students out there with their masks and face shields on, and then we're doing drive-through flu shots. So that's something that we're doing.
I like that too. So I am going to go to the next question or the next suggestion. If anyone has any questions or thoughts, you can put them in the chat box and we can get to them at a later time. So engaging members in virtual community services. I know that we were talking about fundraising, and so some people touched on the community service activities. And I loved some of your ideas. Actually, I loved all of your ideas. So are there any other ideas that anyone has for community service events that they've done, like the flu shot and staying within distance, social distancing?
Hi, my name is Christina. I'm from LSU Health New Orleans. We were able to do a few events over the summer. They were very small, 8 people max, but we have a lot of Head Start programs that have edible gardens. And so we were able to kind of plant and weed, and we have a few more dates coming up in October where we have small groups that are getting to go garden because it's outdoors, and then it's small groups. And then also Second Harvest Food Bank, we've been working with them a lot, either doing drive-through distribution or their warehouses are really big. So again, we've had small groups wearing masks, having hand sanitizer, being able to kind of participate in those events. So that's been good to kind of have a little bit of community while most of our stuff is virtual right now.
Very true. I love the gardening idea. I would go out with y'all if you want an extra person, because I'm local. Anybody else?
Hi,
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Paloma. I'm the president of SNA at the College of Southern Nevada. And we actually found an opportunity online where we could write healthcare workers notes, like words of encouragement and little cards, and send them their direction. So that was something that we could do to help people in our community.
I love that idea. And I have to say that at the hospital I work at, we have some notes around, and they are uplifting, very much so. And somebody did like hundreds of origami, and you'll see a butterfly here and there, and a little horse, and a frog, and it's just beautiful. It just makes you think of something nice when you're taking care of some patients, and it's like a little remembrance so that somebody cares. So I love those ideas of those thoughtful words. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next. This one is about membership recruitment and retention, which was another brilliant topic. It was a popular topic, and I know that many people asked about this. But remember that NSNA has many online resources for membership recruitment.
Who else do you think have skin that?
Okay, so just go to the website and click on membership. And does anyone have any success stories about recruiting members at this time? Because you're virtual, some people have said that it seems a little bit harder because you're not face-to-face with everyone. So can anybody share any of their ideas or what they've done to recruit members?
Hi guys, Kim again. So I don't know how everyone is doing their classes online, but at our school, what we have virtual right now is just labs, and they're all on Zoom. So what I did is I got together with a few volunteer officers the first week of every semester, and we joined in on the first semester students' labs for the last 15 minutes. We all had our cameras on, introduced ourselves, talked about joining, and kind of went over the common barriers to joining, like feeling as though you don't have enough time. We're an ABSN site, so time is pretty limited. But I touched on all of that. They got a chance to ask any questions they wanted. And since we started implementing that this past summer, the first semester students have had the highest attendance rates at the meetings, especially the first meeting, which is awesome. We're working on doing that with all of the semesters going forward now.
That's wonderful. That's really, really, really good. Anyone else?
Hi. My name is Rain. I'm the president of DSNA at Dixie State University, and we actually have something different as well. So we use Canvas for our grades, and we went ahead and made a Canvas shell. So it's just a platform where we can put all of our information. So everyone that has been added to the shell through the platform that everybody uses for the entire college can have access to our meetings and our resources and any updates or notifications that we put out. So if they want to be engaged, they have an easy place to go and access all that information. And it's increased recruitment by a lot. So last semester, I think we had 5 members at the last meeting, and this semester, I think our meeting was 34. So it's increased exponentially.
That's wonderful. And I think having everything in an easy location for everyone is great, because sometimes if it's too much and you can't find it, people won't go there often. So I love that idea.
Hey, this is Christy from LSU Health New Orleans again. I'm the president of our SNA chapter. I don't know, we do a new student orientation in the summer. So for the students that just started, that was in July. And we're always, our SGA, SNA, our diversity, inclusion, equity task force, those student organizations are always included to do a presentation. So that's kind of where we set the stage for SNA. And then unfortunately our emails go out to the entire school body at the beginning until our membership closes. And we were pretty worried about membership virtually, but it closed today and we had 150 people either join or renew. So we're very excited about that for us.
That's excellent. Very nice. Okay, I have one last topic. So if anyone has any other questions, you can put them in the chat box and we will get to them. But our last topic is motivating your board and committee members is a challenge for every leader. So how have you inspired your boards and what have you done to help your boards? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Hi, my name is Capri Reese. I serve as president the SNA at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. It's an HBCU located in Greensboro, North Carolina. And actually our chapter I would say it's actually kind of new. We have had a chapter since 2009, I believe, but the chapters weren't really active. They kind of just had like an executive board and that was it. So this is kind of like its first year actually being active and recruiting members and, you know, just kind of raising the bar. So this year I kind of just took a whim and ran for SNA president. I actually ran unopposed. And I think a lot of people were just scared to take that chance on it because, you know, there was no history of it in the past. And also with my executive board, you know, they took the initiative to also join in. And so for them, like when we first started, because we elected our board back in March and kind of started our stuff in the summer. So honestly, we check in every week with each other. We talk openly just about nursing school, you know, stepping up to the plate and being a leader. We have met up outside of class and had like dinner together. I actually did buy them I got jackets made for our exec boards. I wish I could go get it, but I don't know where it is. But I got jackets made with our logo and with the title of their their executive board title, just to let them know that thank you for doing this. Like it takes a lot, you know, to take a chance on an org when you don't know much about it, what's about to happen, and doing it all during a pandemic. But I kind of just always send them little like positive affirmations to let them know that, you know, thank you for all that you're doing. I appreciate you. We're in this together. You know, I need them too. Like, yes, I am the president, but I love the input of everyone on my executive board. And when I say they support me and SNA to the fullest, I literally put my full trust in them. So honestly, just those little things really do help. And they literally support me so well. They make me feel so good about making the decision to be president.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And I bet your whole board loves those ideas. Anyone else?
Can I share again? Is that okay?
Yes.
So we've had a little bit of a struggle getting board members motivated, but there has been some things that we've done really well. So our top three, our faculty advisor, myself being president of the SNA chapter at Dixie State, and my awesome vice president has been really reaching out and making themselves available to the students to let them know, hey, we're here to support you. Is there any ideas that you have that you want to bring to SNA in your leadership role? And really extending that has inspired, I think, a lot more appreciation and desire to be involved. But we're still working on the development of that further. But to me, that's a huge beginning piece. So, okay.
Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm happy to add to the conversation here. I'm Catherine. I'm the president of SNA at Johns Hopkins University School of Nursing. And so as before too, I wanted to mention we're an entry MSN level. We have DNP and MSN, but the program I'm in is the entry level MSN. So that's where our SNA chapter falls. But yeah, so getting the board involved, it's kind of been crazy. Like I was elected president during COVID, so I really haven't gotten to meet with my board in person. So being on Zoom has been a lot, really tough, just trying to get the board to get to bond with each other and things like that. But we've planned, like, we have a really nice aquarium here in Baltimore that's open for social distancing. So we are planning like a little SNA board member retreat there. And so trying to get our board members just to kind of get to know each other more, because we know each other well on Zoom, but again, in person is a totally different thing. But yeah, thank you all for speaking, and it's been great to hear everyone's opinions and things that they're doing, because it's really helpful, especially for me to kind of see what other people are doing. So I appreciate this Zoom, and thank you, Brandi, for moderating and putting this together. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone being here. Appreciate it. So there is a question about, so I'll read the whole thing. We are somewhat creating our NSNA group from scratch at Nicholls State University in Thibodaux, Louisiana. We have a role of about 50 to 60 members, but about 95 are inactive. We are trying our best to make our organization more appealing and attractive. What can we do to make it more fun and encouraging involvement, considering the academic workload is so heavy? Does anybody have any suggestions or thoughts?
I can definitely speak on that, considering that North Carolina A&T's Student Nurse Association is practically rebooting ourselves. So basically, first thing was first, we actually participated in our school's first ever virtual club fair to boost enrollment for our clubs, and that helped a lot. We actually gained a lot of pre-nursing students. But basically, the main thing is to emphasize what NSNA is all about, or not NSNA, but SNA, your local chapter. Let them know that we understand that we are all nurses, that our workload is very different from other curriculums, and that you don't expect the most from them, but what they can give extracurricularly. So whether that is you can't make every meeting, but you can at least make one, or being a part of at least one community service engagement, like letting them know whatever they can bring is greatly appreciated. For me, I reached out to different companies and vendors to get different kinds of donations, and I have different giveaways throughout the semester. So whoever paid their dues first, or whoever's the first attendance, first person to attend our speak series of the night gets a prize. Or if you had a grade of an 80 or above on your last exam, you get this prize. So kind of incentivizing participation throughout the year, letting them know all the benefits that come with it, especially being a part of NSNA has a lot of improvements as well, like how you guys have your webinars on top of our conferences. Like you can learn a lot just from participating at a national level, and so emphasizing that in your local chapters really helps as well. Having open meetings, like your full body meetings, just being able to use that as an open time to talk with your members, seeing what the workload is like, if they need to vent. I kind of think of it as our NSNA is really just a close-knit relationship with our nursing students in the pre-nursing and within the field, whether it be juniors, seniors, sophomores. You really just, for me, we kind of try to make it a family. So yeah, basically incentivizing, people love free things. They definitely like gifts. So if you can incorporate that, that'd be great. We still got t-shirts this year. And I know everyone was so excited, like, we get shirts. I'm like, yes, you get shirts. So incorporating that, doing stuff that prepares them for the real world. In our chapter, we're trying to get approval for community service hours by completing the CU credits. If you attend different classes and do the contact hours, will match that amount of hours in community service. And, you know, that helps prepare them. So, you know, that puts them ahead when it's time to apply for nursing schools, not nursing schools, but for your professional jobs. But that's what we do. Honestly, a lot of people are looking for mentorship when they joined our NSNA, where they were like, well, would you be able to tell us about what the nursing program is like, or, you know, kind of what to expect? Could you help us? So having that kind of partnership also helps. I feel like that's a lot of, that's what a lot of members are kind of seeking when they found out about our club. But yes, I feel like our biggest thing has been keeping an open and close relationship, providing some kind of prize, because, you know, that's kind of the big thing now that we're not able to be in person as much. And that's basically what we've been doing. It's been great. Like I said before, we didn't actually have any total members. Like, we were never actually recognized as a national constituency. But now for this year, I think after today we had 30 members, if I'm not mistaken, which is the highest in our history. So I'm really excited about that. But feel free, if you guys want to private message me about any other things, I'd be happy to help.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And we can also utilize the NSNA Facebook pages as well. If you're on, I believe it's Capri.
Yes.
If you're on the NSNA Facebook pages, that way more people would be willing, more people would be able to get that information. I think you have some wonderful ideas, definitely. There are two questions that are very similar, and there are basically two brand new faculty co-advisors, and without having any communication over the summer, does anyone have any advice or basically rebooting for our NSNA, for our SNA? And I think Capri had some great ideas. Does anyone have any other ideas to go off of or to tag along with?
I can share.
Yes.
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm president of SNAP at Westchester University in Pennsylvania. I was really nervous becoming president this year. I was volunteer chair last year, and the whole board last year was seniors, so they all graduated, and I was the only one on the board who had any experience holding a position in SNAP, so I was just a little nervous, but I have an absolutely amazing board, so I'm really appreciative of them. One thing we did was, in the beginning of the semester, sending out our first email or initial email, we made a survey. It's a quick survey monkey, kind of asking them, what do you want to see from SNAP? Because at the end of the day, we're holding events for our members to come and for them to enjoy. So I kind of gave them some options. Do you want like a more social, these options over Zoom, an info session about externships, and then asked them, what do you guys want to see? And I was kind of afraid no one was going to take it, but I got so much insight and so many responses back from people of, we want this and we want this, and can we do mentorship and can we do that? So it really helped me kind of pinpoint, okay, what are the important things that we want to put some work into this semester? So I would definitely say, if you are not sure exactly what you want to plan, just reach out to your members and see what they're interested in, because they're going to want to show up to events that they're actually interested in. So I thought that ended up being really helpful.
Thank you very much for sharing that. So there are a couple questions that I've overlooked in the chat, and I don't know if this was already answered, so bear with me, but it says, forgive my ignorance, why doesn't NSNA include LPN track students or Masters Plus students? So I will let Dr. Mancino answer this question, since she is the executive director of NSNA and very knowledgeable.
I guess the basic answer to that is that the bylaws don't allow it, but that doesn't give you any insight as to why they're not allowed. But I will tell you that both of those issues have come up in the House of Delegates in the past, and they were voted down. They were not. They were just the House of Delegates, talked about it, and they felt that Well, I'll tell you, with the LPNs, They just felt that they would not, they would have different needs than the RN students, and that they didn't feel that NSNA could meet all of those needs. Now, the interesting thing is with the graduate level students, the fear was that they would take over the leadership of the organization, and that pre-licensure and RN to BSN students wouldn't have access to leadership roles. I mean, these were the arguments that came up during the House delegates. So it's up to the organization who they decide to admit as members. So if that's something that you're passionate about, you could think about, because these things happened several years ago. We haven't had this on the we haven't had a bylaws proposal for many years. But if it's something that you're passionate about, you might consider your chapter submitting a bylaws amendment. And we can send you more information about that. There's a deadline. I don't have that in my head. But again, if you write to me at diane@nsna.org, I'll be happy to not only send you the information about submitting a bylaw amendment, but also send you, I can dig up the transcripts from those, from the House of Delegates when those were debated, and it would give you some insight into what the students were thinking, or what the members were thinking at the time. So it's because that's what the bylaws only allows the pre-licensure and RN to BSN members.
Thank you, Dr. Mancino. There is another question that I missed. Is it possible for local chapters to waive dues for their local chapter due to financial difficulties created by COVID? I'm not sure if this question, I believe it's Amy, I can't read your last name, but if you had this question, can you please unmute your mic and ask the question? My thought.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Here, I am Amy Passmore. I'm the Vice President of SNA at Clayton State University in Morrow, Georgia, just outside Atlanta. My question is, this area has been hit pretty hard economically by COVID, and we have a lot of students that are struggling just to pay tuition this semester, but still want to be part of SNA in our local chapter. And we've had questions about whether or not we can waive our dues for this, based like on a semester by semester basis, depending on how COVID occurs. But we wanted to be sure that we weren't violating any NSNA rules in doing so. Does that make sense?
Dr. Mancino, I'm going to refer back to you.
And Amy, let me just ask you, are you asking, can you waive the chapter dues?
No, just we require dues for students to join SNA, just our local chapter of SNA, not for, what we pay to in SNA.
Because if it's your local chapter dues, the first thing I would do is I would look at the bylaws. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's probably not anything in there in terms of the bylaws, but you may want to consider amending the bylaws, whatever it says about your chapter dues. That would be something that you would have to bring before the membership. And it could be, a time limited thing, but you can't really go against your bylaws. And what you do at the school chapter level in terms of your dues is really up to you. I know that sometimes the chapter level, that those dues go towards a graduation and pinning and so forth. So You might want to consider doing some fundraisers for that specific purpose of helping to cover those dues for those that can't afford them right now.
Wonderful. I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't missed anything in reading the NSNA bylaws, that, you know, I didn't want our chapter to violate anything. You know, I just want to make it work for everybody. I appreciate your help so much.
Yes, if you have further questions, just diane@nsna.org.
Thank you very much.
Our chapter at Villanova has always advertised that everyone is to be included, and that if finances are a hardship, they just see the advisor in confidence. And that's not something related to the pandemic, it's just how things have been. And there's funding that's found for the chapter dues, and sometimes the chapter dues is simply waived and people are active, and that's that. But for the NSNA dues, there's always some funding that's found for it. And this way, everybody knows that the pandemic is horrible and people are devastated by it. And under times of the pandemic, people are devastated by circumstance. And we just want everybody to be part of something, never to be turned away because they didn't have the amount for the dues. And for some folks, $20 might as well be $200,000.
Very true. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for clarifying, Dr. Mancino, and thank you for sharing, Dr. Weingarten. So I do want to say before we go on to the next thing that we do have a, not next week, is it next week or the week after? We do have an advisors forum. So that will be started. So if, you speak with your advisor. So if you can let your advisors know so that the communication between the advisors and the school chapters, that way it's more cohesive, and it would allow the advisors to know what our concerns are for our chapters. I think that would be a brilliant idea. So it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's on the 30th of this month. So I believe that's in 2 Wednesdays. So if you can just let your advisors know, especially if they're new, the 2 comments about having new advisors, that would be a brilliant way for them to be connected and to help the students as well. So I believe I got to most of the questions. If you have any other questions, then will you be emailing info about the advisor forum, Brandi? Yes, that email will go out. We'll also put it on our Facebook page so that you can share that with your advisor. How do we join the Facebook group? Go to Facebook, and they have a few Facebook groups. One of them is just the NSNA page. Another one is NSNA Board of Directors. So if you like those pages, we'll start putting that out there. I have to say, I absolutely love this forum. I am thankful for Dr. Mancino for helping set this up, because this is one of the things that I wanted to do, is get everyone involved on the local, state, and national level. Because I remember when I was just on my local chapter, I just felt like the national level was I didn't feel comfortable approaching them, and I don't ever want to make somebody feel that I'm not approachable. So reach out to me, reach out to the board. So I appreciate everyone coming here, and we're planning on doing this once a month. So if you have any other questions, I will get to them, or we can wait. The faculty forum is on Wednesday, September 30th at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Please make sure your faculty are on our list so that they get the information. All information is placed on the www.nsna.org. I am going to continue so that we can get out on time. But is there, so those were our 4 main topics. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that anybody had questions about?
I had one idea I'd like to share.
Yeah.
It's me again, Lauren from Nova Southeastern University. So for our first meeting, I reached out to our mental health center at the school to have someone speak during our meeting about what resources are available for students with counseling. And, you know, because everyone's been impacted somehow with COVID. And I noticed the last few months there's been a huge increase in stress and, you know, all different types of changes in people's lives. So I found that was super beneficial. A lot of people reached out saying that they really enjoyed it and benefited it. And even if they didn't reach out, you never know who it might have impacted. So I definitely recommend that because most universities do offer free mental health counseling, or at least discounted. So I think that'd be great for anyone if that's interested.
That's wonderful.
Hi, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm Joanne Deverson, representing Farmingdale State College in Farmingdale, New York. And one of the things that we're doing is assisting the health and wellness on our campus, because they've been kind of overwhelmed with a lot of the responsibilities. So as nursing students, we've been volunteering to help them offload some of their extra work. So that's an idea that you guys can do as a group. You know, if you guys have health and wellness on campus, or if you guys are on campus, to be able to offer your services that way. As well as we've reached out to recent graduates who've experienced, obviously, COVID, and those who graduated this past May. And they're going to be speaking at our first SNA meeting to share their experience and about it, so that students who are graduating this fall, as well as future, can kind of get information firsthand.
That's fantastic. Those are great ideas, and I love the getting the graduates to come back. I think that's a great teaching point. Anyone else?
Yeah, to piggyback off that, my name is Caitlin. I'm the president at Gateway Tech College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. One thing we did is we reached outside of the school. We went to the Kenosha Resource Center, where they have the food share and, career events and, WIC and all that stuff. And we're having someone come in and discuss everything that they offer, especially during COVID. Everyone's struggling and trying to make ends meet, and the local job center, as you would call it, has a lot of different programs and whatnot. So it'd be good for nurses to know that they can, reference their patients and clients to, local city.
I love those ideas. That's really good. And just knowing what's out there, the knowledge is brilliant. Anyone else? Okay, so it's now time for our raffle for the free mid-year conference registration. So Jasmine, will you conduct the raffle?
Thank you, Madam President. I am looking for an individual who we've already randomly selected this individual, and you must be present to win for the mid-year conference registration. So I am looking for Lindsay Crott from University of Pennsylvania. Lindsay, can you unmute yourself and say hello? Are you with us? Lindsay, no, I think she has gone. Okay, how about Emily? I'm going to try this, Emily Antojewicz. I am not sure if that, Emily, you are here. Can you unmute yourself? Hey, hi, Emily. Hi, you have received the mid-year conference registration, so we will get in touch with you through the email that you registered with. I will be getting in touch with you tomorrow, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam President,
Congratulations. Go ahead, Jasmine.
it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Emily. I am looking forward to the mid-year conference, and I'm happy that you won. Do your little dance. So Jasmine, I thank you very much for picking up the names or pulling, I think it's an electronic way that you're doing. Yep. And so before we go, I have a few announcements. So the Imprint magazine has gone virtual, and please watch your email for the link in October, and be sure to share this with your chapter members. And I remember getting my first couple imprints and just reading them back to back. So just having that availability on just virtually is amazing. So we have that. And then NSNA is hosting a 3-hour pharmacology review. You can find out the details for this and other live and on-demand programs on the NSNA website at www.nsna.org. So before we depart with a great and uplifting video from the International Council of Nurses, I want to thank you all for your leadership and what you are doing at your chapters. I know that these are challenging times and that you will get through them, that we will get through them and be even stronger than before. And I appreciate everyone who's here, and I look forward to meeting again. So watch your email for an announcement for the October School President's Forum. Jasmine, if you want to roll the video.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hold on, sorry about that. It's all muted, everything. I will do that one more time. Technology is not my friend today.
I have watched you.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes our first President's Forum, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Does anyone have any thoughts? Will you be here next month? I see a couple of people thumbs up and nodding their head yes. So I thank you very much for being here. I'm going to sign off now, okay? Bye now.